Hello and thank you for joining me for this updated track guide around Interlagos for Daily Race B. I did some different qualifying after my initial qualifying in the McLaren using the RCZ because I saw that popping up a lot on the leaderboard, and it's definitely the fastest car to use, I think. So I did a little updated lap here, got a lot faster than my previous, down to a 31.8. There's definitely a lot more time in it as well. There's people set in now 1 minute 30 laps and very low 131, so it's definitely the fastest car. A few things just to bear in mind is there's places where it's better to be in a higher gear for the traction, you don't get as much turbo lag, and some places just to be careful with your braking to make sure that you're either getting late enough on the brakes that you're making the most out of each corner, or that you're not using too much brake that you're going to lock the car up and get into a slide. So I'm going to break the lap down as normal and slow down maybe a little bit more than usual some of the corners to really go through it in a little bit of detail, and then as normal the lap will play out at full speed afterwards. So please do drop a like if you enjoyed the video, if it helps you, and subscribe for future videos, and we'll get in now to the lap itself and break it all down, see how it goes. So one of the main things I was finding with this car is you can be really quite late on the brakes, and you want to trail brake down as quickly as you possibly can. So we're going to get on the brakes really late here, right on the 50 meter board. So you see, just as we go onto the 50, heavy on the brakes, in a straight line as always, then trail braking in after you come through the shadow from the bridge, but keep the car in third gear. So here you might want to turn down to second, but don't turn in really early for the second half, and you can see I get right on the edge of the curb there, and that maximises your speed massively. You'll save getting on for a couple of tenths sometimes just by turning in early for the right part of that chicane there. Once again, for this next corner we're going to be quite late on the brake, so after the 100 meter board, as you get to the grey path, we're going to get heavy on the brakes in a straight line, again keeping the car in third, and you see as quite quickly I start trail braking down and then completely release the brakes and almost straight away feeding the power in. You only want to have 2 tyres on the curb on the right hand side there on the runoff. Any more than that, if you've got the rest of the car coming across, then you're definitely going to be in trouble. Now for this next section we're just going to use a tiny little bit of brake, turning in 5th initially. Turn down to, or shift down rather, to 4th as you hit that first curb. Then keep the car in 4th gear, and you see how early I'm feeding the power in here and using this other curb to rotate the car around. Keep the car in 4th, brake in on the big tyre mark on the left there as normal, down to 2nd gear, and make sure you cut plenty of this curb, but don't let your left tyres go onto the grass. A little burst of power in 2nd gear here, but then a little bit of brake just to bring the car into the left, and you want to get on the power nice and early as you're coming around this hairpin. So about halfway around you see I'm feeding the power in, and you just need to kind of get used to feeding it in a way that doesn't make the back of the car slide out. On the brakes here, on the green Astro on the left hand side, I use first just to turn the car in for a second, but then straight back up to 2nd gear to not kill the rolling speed of the car, again feeding the power in quite early. And this is another corner where you can save quite a lot of time. Get into 3rd initially, and then you see I just do a small lift, shift to 4th, and then get straight back on the power. So I was holding 3rd round there before, but 4th is definitely faster. And then here, about 2 car lengths short of the 50, onto the brakes, and again staying in 3rd gear. So the traction you're going to get in 3rd coming out of this last corner is going to be a lot better than shifting down to 2nd and then having to accelerate up and deal with the gear change as well. So that was good enough to take me down to, see, initially a 32.007 was my previous best lap with this Peugeot, and that's going to come down now to a 31.804 I believe. So hope that helps you out. The lap's going to play out in full speed now. Please do drop a like if you've enjoyed the video, if it's helped you out, and good luck with getting your qualifying down for Daily Race B. Thanks very much.